Hello and welcome back to the Motorhome review channel. Today I'm at Preston Caravans and Motorhomes in the northwest of England, and I'm here to give you an overview of the Chausson low profile semi-integrated motorhome range. These are the 2026 models. Now Chausson is a French manufacturer that tend to be towards the entry level to mid-range, and they offer a good amount of equipment for the price point. This low profile model that we're going to be looking at is just one of the 9 layouts available. I've got a few to show you, so we'll dive in and take a look at the different layouts and the sizes of these motorhomes. We're going to be making a start with this one. Now, on the low profile, there's 2 different lines: Titanium Line, which is on Ford, or Ultimate Line, which is on Fiat. So you do have the choice there of Fiat and Ford. We're focusing on Ford today, but at least you know the Fiat is available if you wish. So this is the 630 Titanium Line, based on Ford, as I've said, and this one actually starts at around £73,000 here at Preston Caravans and Motorhomes, with a number of equipment packs as well, and I'll talk about those as we go along. So what do we need to know? So the 630 Titanium Line, it is based on Ford with a 2-litre diesel engine, 130 horsepower and manual transmission as standard, or you can opt for the 165 horsepower and automatic transmission. You'll see that the cab is in the white finish, and you also get the colour coded bumpers as well. Now on these titaniums, there's a number of different packs that you can add to add equipment. There's 2 that I'd certainly be adding. I'll put a link in the description, so obviously you can check out those packs as well. So the front cab, we also have the black alloy wheels. These are part of one of the packs. Then we have our electrically operated wing mirrors. The cab, although it's a French manufacturer, these are all right-hand drive. The 630 Titanium Line. Now in terms of size, the 630 is 6 metres and 99 centimetres long. It's 2 metres and 35 centimetres wide. They're all that width, and it's 2 metres and 92 in height. And again, all the models are that height. The really good thing is these are all 3.5 tonne motorhomes, so you can drive them on your car licence. You don't need the C1. And your payload's going to vary, but I'd say on average you're going to be certainly getting around 400 to 500 kilos depending on the model. Now as we continue round, let's start on the roof. Now this one has the accessory pack fitted, and within that accessory pack you'll get a 140 watt solar panel. You'll also get this wind out 2-lay awning in black, and you'll get a blind for the fly screen on the habitation door. The sides, so titanium, we've got the silver decal graphic all the way down the near side and the off side, and then the Chausson logo and the green and this dark blue to complement it. Gas storage, you will get a gas locker as standard on every model in the range. In there you can store a 6 kilo gas bottle and a 13 kilo gas bottle. The habitation door, yes, it is on the offside because it is a French manufacturer. There is an awning light under the awning itself, and then coming down, this one's been fitted with the gas barbecue point on titanium. Toilet cassette point here for emptying that out, and then a garage. Now there's 2 garage doors, one on the near side and then this one here on the off side. It's a really good sized garage. We've got a great amount of headroom in here. The solid wall, there is a light as well. I'll turn that on so you can see that. There's a plug socket. There's also a 12-volt socket there. Lots of room in that garage for all your outdoor equipment. Now, depending on the layout you choose, it'll obviously affect the garage space, and we'll see more of that as we go round. Let's head to the rear. So the rear, now continuing round on titanium again, we've got the silver graphic on the rear, the Chausson, the high level brake light, and you do have pre-installation for a bike rack if you wanted to add that. Personally, with that garage, I'll be putting your bikes in that garage space. This one has got the rear view camera. That is part of one of the packs, and again that is in the price point of this one here at Preston's at around 73,000. The 630 Titanium Line, and then the retro lights. I always like a bit of retro lighting, and there it is. So that's our rear end. Let's continue down our near side. So we have that second garage door there, and then continuing down, we have the windows which do have the tint, and then this large storage locker. So if I open this up, now in here, dropping the hatch, you're going to find the water tank. You are going to fill your water tank in here. You'll see there's a nozzle here. So on board you have a fresh water tank and also the grey waste tank as well. When you're on site, you want to hook up your electric hookup point, and then the vent for the Truma air-blown heating. It actually has a diesel heating system. It runs off the diesel in your diesel tank. There's two different systems. Standard, you'll get the 4,000 watt Truma air-blown heating, or if you opt for the Arctic pack, which I think a lot of people may add, you get a higher powered diesel heating system still on the air-blown, and you'll get underfloor heating as well, and you'll also get an external thermal blind as well for the windscreen. So I think the Arctic pack is probably one that many people will go for. Then we have an external cold water shower point, great for if you've got dogs you want to wash off, or bikes and bits and pieces. And then the diesel filling tank itself for the main diesel of the motorhome. So that's the exterior. Obviously the Chausson up there, our sunroof. What we'll do next is dive inside and take a look, because this 630 is a new layout and I think this is a little bit different. So come on, let's go take a look. So here we are in the cab. Now both of the chairs do swivel round. You'll see up at the front we've got our digital dash, Ford multifunctional steering wheel. This one at Preston's has got the automatic transmission included in that price point. These are on offer at the moment. The large infotainment screen and plenty going on up here. I do like the Ford cabs. You're also going to find you've got the blind as well in the internal windscreen and the blinds on the side. Now if I just turn around, let's talk about upholstery. Now there is an optional upholstery, but the standard upholstery again is still a very nice finish. We have this almost a brown colour, I'd describe it as, the Chausson embossed here, then into our fabric. And the good thing that I like to see is that the armrests have also got this leather effect finish as well. So it has got a more premium finish considering the price point. You'll also get these curtains. Now these have two purposes. One, privacy, so you don't have to draw the blind, you can simply slide them round on a night time, but they also add a bit of insulation as well. In colder weather they're going to keep the cool air out, so multi-purpose there. Now let's have a look at our lounge space. So this motorhome, it has 4 travel seats and 4 berths. So you've got 2 seats here, then we've got 2 seats will convert here for travel seats, and this lounge will also become a bed space as well. You've got a large double bed here, and then wait till I show you the drop down bed, because this is very unusual, but we'll come to that. So let me step into the lounge. We are stepping down a little step. Surrounding me is the storage above the cab, the sunroof that has a blind, it does open as well. There's some USB charging points here, so if you want to charge your gadgets, and then I drop into the lounge space. Now let's start at low level first of all. The flooring, we have this wood herringbone effect flooring, and then this lounge space. Now, whether this be a couple's motorhome or those 4 berths are all used, obviously it depends on who's buying it, but your lounge space, there's no compromise here. You've got a really long bench seat here on the near side and a good sized bench seat over on the off side as well. The windows, blinds and fly screens, and you do get these nets that you can pull across for added privacy. I've pulled those. I think I quite like them closed for the privacy there. Then we have the leather effect, fabric and then leather effect, and because it's this darker brown colour, that's ideal for hiding any muck and also if you've got pets. The table, you can obviously use it as it is folded, or if you want it for everybody you can fold it out as such like this. Now I'll just show you a feature on the table. When you want to use this lower space as a double bed, there's a button on here. The telescopic table will drop automatically. I'll just do that. That's going to go all the way down, and then you can obviously make the bed up. But also, if you have got someone who's a little bit lower, it's ideal for dropping that down to eat at. So fabulous. Now also in the lounge you'll see the wood effect, so we haven't just got the plain white walls, we've got this wood effect, this lovely strip lighting, there's reading lights here, there's one on the near side and the off side. I'll come to the drop down bed in a minute, but we'll just work our way through the lounge. You do also have here a plug socket as well if you need to utilise that. And then there's this additional space here, it's open plan, you can put items on here. There's a little cupboard for storage on this one, shelves, and then as we drop down we have a pull-out drawer as well, so plenty of space in there. Over on the off side we have similar effect on here, and then the white wall, and then we come to the door that we came in. It's a habitation door. It's got this sort of triangular finish to it, so it's not just a plain finish. You'll get a concertina blind. And then here's the control panel. Fairly simple to use, not overcomplicated. All your levels on there, a couple of hooks and some stringy bits. And then what we'll do, before we go further back, we'll turn around. I'm going to talk about these beds because the 630 actually has 2 longitudinal beds in the ceiling. Normally I would have expected a drop down double bed, however this is quite unique. Instead we've got 2 singles and they operate on their own. So you've got 2 switches here, you've got 1 switch for one and 1 switch for the other. Now these beds are 200 centimetres long on this bed and 190 centimetres long on this bed, and they're both 90 centimetres wide. These are excellent beds. Let me just press the button and deploy one. Now these will come down, obviously sort your table out as well, but dropping that down, I'll stop there. You can see there's also a place here to put a ladder, or you can drop it further down and then onto the single bed. This is the 190 centimetre bed. I think this is fabulous. As I say, I've not seen this before on a motorhome. I've seen on a camper van once, but it was double jointed. It wasn't a single bed. Let me just come back to the switch and drop the other one down a little bit for you. So the benefit of this is if only one person wants to go to bed and the other person wants to stay up, one person can carry on using the lounge as a lounge and the other person can hop into bed. That's pretty good. Right, let me put these back up, and they are electrically operated, so very easy to use. And you can see the ceiling above there is solid. There's no sunroof up there. It's just the solid ceiling. That's one. And let me take the other one up. There we go. And they go at a fairly reasonable speed as well for an electric bed. Yeah, that's clever. I like that. Right, let's dive into the kitchen. So the kitchen on the near side. So what we're going to get, well, first of all, this one has been fitted with the oven and grill. Another great thing here, you will get an electric hot plate. So you're on electric hookup, you can use your electric hot plate, you don't have to use your gas. 2 gas burners, and then we have the dual gas oven and grill. This is a Thetford appliance. Under there is a drawer. These are soft close. It's fairly shallow in depth. Push that in, and then coming across a rectangular sink, the black matte tap, window which does open. You will get a blind and a fly screen, and it is the plastic style blind. That is very common for the European manufacturers. All the buttons that I showed you before, and then there's a plug here and a USB charging point, so you can charge gadgets here. You also have this additional worktop flap as well. You've got that, and you've got the storage of this lower level as well. So you've got that additionally. And then under here, there is a storage compartment for bits and pieces there. Right, that's the kitchen on the near side. Coming to the off side, we then have our Thetford fridge and freezer. Now, depending on the model on the titanium line, it'll depend whether it's 140 or 150 litres. But this is an excellent capacity fridge and your freezer compartment as well. Now this is a compressor fridge and freezer. It will only run off electric, so it won't run off gas. So when you're off grid, it's going to run through your battery, but you've got your solar panel on this one, so that'll keep your battery charged. And then we've got our storage cupboard above the fridge. There's some storage below as well. And then we'll head back into the bathroom space. So we step up to get into here. So back here we then find our submerged sink. We've got the matte black tap, mirror, storage here. We haven't got the bar, but we have got a little lip on there. And then coming down, some shelving, more storage under the sink, this little drop down as well. And then the Thetford swivel toilet, some hooks. Above me, there's a good sized sunroof for ventilation. It opens, it has a blind and a fly screen. Coming along, this wood effect as well. So I've got plain white walls and then this huge mirror at the back, and this does open. So opening these up. Now, look at this for storage. Here you can hang shoes. You slot them on there, so a little shoe hanger. And then we've got shelving space with bands. There's a further rail here for hanging, and then you have 4 drawers, so you've got 2 on each side. This is something I've seen on French manufacturers before, not really on other manufacturers particularly, so it's nice to see that, but loads of storage for all your clothes. I'll close that up, and then you can access your garage from in here as well. If I slide that back, that's access into the garage space. Goes all the way back, and you can see that's where we were when we were outside. And then a shower. So this has got a nice tinted shower screen. I'll give this a pull and in we go. Now, the other thing I'll mention is we've got the matte black taps everywhere apart from the shower. We go to chrome in here. I personally would have just have liked to see it continuing, but we've got this nice black finish here, really nicely illuminated. There's a light here, lights down the side, plenty of room in here, plenty of headroom. There's around 1 metre or at least 2 metres of headroom as far as I know in the low profile, and you can see that from above me. You can hang towels on here, and then there's a sunroof here which again does open. And there is also a privacy screen here which slides across to the other side and separates the bathroom, washroom to the habitation. Right, so good size shower, fabulous storage on the 630, washroom area, great kitchen space, tower fridge and freezer, fabulous lounge, and those drop down beds. Let's dive back out. So that is the first of the layouts we're going to be looking at in the Titanium line. That is the 630. Let's head on to our next layout. From 630 we go to the 640 Titanium line. This is pretty much identical apart from a slight change on layout internally. So we're still at 6 metres and 99 centimetres on the Ford, same width, height and weight, and externally everything is the same. This one at Preston's also has the additional packs, and it's currently priced at around £75,000, so just a little bit more than the 630. You do still get the same large garage, the onboard fresh and grey waste tanks, and you also get the gas barbecue point and external shower. The changes come in here, so let's dive in and take a look. So this one, the 640, is still a 4-berth motorhome with 4 travel seats. It doesn't have a fixed bed. It's got the same style layout, this huge lounge, so great bench seat. If relaxation is important to you, then this sort of layout could definitely be one to consider on a motorhome. We've got the same finish here at the front with the curtains, USB charging points, the lounge space and the telescopic leg table as well. The changes on 640 come up here. They start with the bed. So we have an electric drop-down double bed. This is huge. It's 190 centimetres long and 160 centimetres wide. You'll also notice there's just some slight changes on each wall to the 630. And also on the lights, before we had two reading lights here, instead now we've got these downlighters, and they've got a USB charger in as well, so that's good, so you can sit and charge your gadgets there. This one also has the diesel heating, and you can have that Arctic pack. Couple of changes in the kitchen on 640. There's still the flap, but now instead of that open space that we had before, we've actually got some cupboard space. There's still the Thetford oven and grill with the electric hot plate, and now we've got 3 overhead cupboards here in the kitchen. These are very, very good. The only thing I'll say is if you're smaller like me, you're going to be limited as to what you can reach up there, but great height, great size. I like those. Then coming along, we've also got a high cupboard here, so no shelf, so loads of high stuff there. The controller's up there as well for the water heater. Coming down, the sink, and then the storage. Now this one, if I pull this out, on here now we've got this bar for towels or oven gloves, and then there's a cutlery tray here, plug socket, the controls again for the bed and the table, and I'll show you that next. But dropping down, further storage as well, just like we saw on the 630. This 640 as well at Preston's, a few more bits have been taken out and put out on display. You also get this sink cover that can act as a chopping board as well, so that's got a nice finish to it. Over on the offside, we still have our Thetford tower fridge and freezer. Again, that nice big capacity. What I'll do, I'll show you that bed in a second, but I'll just talk about the bathroom space, because back here we have the same bathroom again. So the storage up there in the cupboard, the shower and the Thetford loo. So we don't have to go through all that again. We've got a few layouts to get through. Now, as opposed to singles, we have the double bed, and that operates from the button here. The table, press, and the table will start to drop down. And the bed, equally press the button, and the bed's going to come down. It will come a fair distance down, so you can either use a ladder, or it will drop a few more inches, so you can just climb on. It depends how agile you are. I'd just jump on, but remember also you've got to jump off as well. So look at this though, fabulous size bed, and the benefit is when you are laid in bed, you've got this great view out of this huge window here. So fantastic. And you'll notice in the ceiling though, as I've mentioned before, you don't above there have that sunroof. And then in the morning, we're just going to go back up. It's a fairly rapid action for an electric drop-down bed. One thing to remember as well is if you put a load of bedding on there, just be careful when it goes up to the ceiling, it's going to be touching up there, so don't overladen it with pillows or it won't like that. And put the table back. I like that as well, you don't have to dive on it yourself. Right, table's back up, that's our lounge. So that is the 640, 4 berth, 4 travel seat. Again, I think a good one for couples. Lovely lounge. And then this nice drop down bed with the grey finish and some additions there to the kitchen. You still get your worktop flap. Personally, I like the longitudinal beds, but I prefer this kitchen. So as usual, I'd like a mix. Right, let's dive out and go and find our third layout. Next up, it's the 650 Titanium Line. Now this one at Preston's priced at £74,000. Now again, it's got the packs on it, it's got the automatic transmission, 165 horsepower. So the difference with this one, now this is still a 4 berth motorhome with 4 travel seats, and it's still got the drop down bed as opposed to a fixed bed, but this is actually the smallest in the range. So we've gone 630, 640, we get to 650 and all of a sudden we get smaller. Normally they get bigger, so I'm not sure about that one. But this one on the Ford is 6 metres and 39 centimetres long. It's still 2 metres and 35 wide, but it is compact in length, so well under 7 metres. Because it's got the packs, it's still got the solar panel and the awning and all those other bits. Again, I'll put the link for those packs. So let's have a look. So because we've lost a little bit of length, we're a little bit shorter here at the back. This one though, it's still got the gas point, our toilet cassette point, the fresh water and grey waste, and we still get a nice sized garage. So let's take a look here. So that garage space here on the 650, you'll see there is a garage door on the near side and the off side. These bits that are in the back here, they're the cushions to make up the second bed, the carpets as well, and the thermal blind, because this has the Arctic pack. And don't forget, the benefit is you're going to get the underfloor heating. On the rear, again, the silver graphic or decal, the 650 titanium line, and the rear view camera here as well. We'll just go down the near side. So on the near side, on this model, we have the external cold water shower here, then this storage locker. I appreciate there's not really a great deal of storage here just because it is a storage locker. Our fresh water tank here, electric hookup, and then the gas storage is here on the near side. Let's venture around and go and take a look at this layout on 650. So because it is a little bit shorter, you'll notice a little bit of difference. Right, so venturing in, let's make a start up in the cab area. So again, we're seeing what we've seen before, so we don't need to spend too much time here on the 650. Still got the cab with the blinds, the curtains that pull round, and the upper shelving with the USB charging points. We go then into the lounge space. Now, although it may be shorter in length, we still have a really generous lounge here. A long bench seat on the near side and a slightly shorter one here on the off side. But again, plenty of space to relax in this area. The telescopic table again, I'll just show you that folded out once again. This is an excellent size as well. It does have a support, so you don't have to worry about the table. Now on the near side, we go back to a large window with the net and we see the black trim again. We also have the same downlighters that we had on the 640 and the USB charging point. Now when I step down, this one has got a drop down bed again. It's the electric drop down bed. That button again in the kitchen area. You can also convert this lower area too into a double bed. The cushions for that were in the garage. So when you're using it as a 2-berth, you can bring this electric bed all the way down. When you're using it as a 4-bed, you'll bring it to a higher level and use the ladder. So that's our lounge space. As I came in through the habitation door, you'll see the doors are a good size, 600mm wide. The control panel, and then that feeds through into the kitchen space. So the kitchen space is a little bit shorter here because we're in a shorter motorhome. There's no additional flap here. That would still have been nice to see. Whether it would have been possible with the drop down, I don't know, but it would still have been nice to see the flap. You're going to have to use the table, I think, for worktop space because it is going to be limited here in this layout. However, we do still get the electric hot plate, the 2 gas burners, and then the gas oven and grill. Storage in the kitchen, there is less storage available because it's shorter, but we've got our cutlery tray and we've still got a handle here for towels, plug socket, and then under here we have that storage cupboard that we saw before. And if we go upwards now, there's nice lighting here, and then in the cupboard space we've got the higher cupboard here with no shelf, and then the one that's split. What I do like as well is, one, the amount of headroom, as you can see. I mean, I'm not trying to reach up for anything, but you know, look, loads of headroom, fabulous. So over 2 meters of headroom at this point, a massive sunroof as well. There's loads of light coming in here. Yes, there is a blind and a fly screen and it does open, but lots of light coming in. Then on the 650, we still got our Thetford Tower fridge and freezer. Again, this still runs off electric only. It's compressor. Let's venture into the washroom. So the washroom, it's the same style as we've seen before. We've got the sunken sink and then this black finish with the black buttons. Our storage coming down, this replicating the 630, 640. our swivel toilet, and then these fabulous storage options in here. I really like the drawers that pull out. Just pull this one out again on this side. Great for your clothing, and then the shelving and everything will be held back with the bands, and then you've got the option to hang from the rail above and obviously put your shoes on there. I don't think I'd ever be doing that. I like it, it's different. And then access into that garage again, just through the hatch. It does go all the way through, but there's stuff in there at the moment. And then our shower cubicle as well. This is a little bit different because it's a shorter motorhome. We've got a more compact shower cubicle, still got the chrome finishing, and there's still a good amount of headroom there. I'll just step in though so you can see me in this space. So it's certainly narrower here, but in terms of standing in this direction, this is probably the best way to stand. But this is going to be the compromise on this motorhome at 6.39 meters. Right, let me dive out. So that's our washroom, our kitchen, our lounge with the drop down bed. We saw the drop down in operation on the 640, so I won't demonstrate that again on the 650. We've got one more layout to go. This one's the biggest one in the range, and it's got a fixed bed. So come on, let's get that one done. The fourth model is the 797 Titanium Line. As I said, there's 9 altogether, and we're doing 4 of them today. Now, this is the largest Ford-based model in the range. It is 7 meters and 39 centimeters long. It's still 235 wide and 292 high and 3.5 tons. What we're going to do is dive in and take a look at this layout, because the 797 has longitudinal beds at the rear. So let's go in and take a look. Now, this is a 4-berth model as seen here. It starts as a 3-berth, but we do have the optional drop-down bed. This does still have the 4 travel seats. Now, price-wise, this is up there at the top. This is £80,000 as seen at Preston today. It is a special offer as well, and this still has a number of packs, and that includes the automatic transmission as well. So let's make a start. Now, if I move around this way, so the cab area. We'll see, obviously, it's still the same semi-integrated style with the Ford and the finishings here that we've seen before, that nice sunroof. And because this one has the optional drop-down bed, you'll see there are some slight changes here above me. Now, if you didn't have the optional drop-down bed, the ceiling would continue. I don't know if it has a further sunroof there or not, but as you can see on this model, we have the bed there. So in the lounge, we have the facing bench seats. The near side one is longer to the off side. These will convert into travel seats as well, 2 seats here. So into the lounge space I go. You will get a USB charging point down there so you can sit and do some work. And on the near side, there's a plug socket as well. And don't forget, if you have that Arctic pack, you're going to have the underfloor heating and that upgraded heating system still running off the diesel. The table is still the folding wood. This has the telescopic leg as well and the control panel for that. So as we come through now, the windows, you can see they've still got the nets. We have the opening windows with the blinds. Because this has the optional drop-down bed, the cabinets are a little bit lower. You'll see them in the black finish. Just under here, there's a button. You press that and lift these open. Got nice strong clasps on there, and there's one on each side, so it's nice to see that storage. If you are a taller person, just consider that obviously you will lose some of your headroom here. You've got nice lighting running through and the black gloss and the wood finish. I'll just move through into the kitchen and then we'll have a look at that drop down bed. So the kitchen space, now again on this one, the 797, we don't have that extension flap that we saw before, but going through there is the hot plate, the gas burners and the dual oven and grill as well. Our sink, and then this one simply has the storage cupboard here in this corner. There is a shelf running through that, and then underneath there's also an LED light as well. And then that brings us down to our cutlery tray, which is here, and that storage cupboard as well. There is a plug socket and a USB, and on the off side there's a storage cupboard here, and then as well as our tower fridge and freezer, there's a place here to put your television bracket, and there's a plug socket and a TV point. So your bracket will attach to one of these sides, and then you can slide your television out and you'll be able to watch that in that lounge area. Depending on the bracket you get, you may be able to have one that rotates, so you can also watch it back there. Now, the drop down bed, let's take a look at that. So our bed switch is here. So if I just activate this, now as I say, this bed, it is the optional extra, electrically operated. If I keep dropping that, we'll just stop that there for now. You will get a ladder that goes on here, and you can see there's some lighting up there. So that is your electrically operated double bed. I'll put that back up and you can see that in action there. So going back up to that ceiling. Now, moving through. Now this one, because it's a longer motorhome at 739, we've got the fixed beds. I'll bring you back through here and I'll step up here. We have got, which I haven't seen before, a separate washroom and shower room. This door, I'll close this across. So you do have the door as well. So if it is being used as a 4-berth, you have that there for privacy. Nice black line through the wood. Let's have a look at the shower first of all. So we'll find the shower on the near side. As we've seen before, we go from black to the chrome finish. I'd have just liked it all the same. The black finish, but a full-size shower cubicle, 2 plug holes there, and the shower screen here on each side. Above me, the sunroof, somewhere to hang your towel. There is a light, and you can see it is a good size, loads of headroom as well in that layout there. Now, before I dive in here, there are 2 steps. You will get storage under the step here. It's not a bad depth either, probably good for shoes and bits and pieces like that. And then coming up, there's also further storage in here, and that's a lot deeper as well, so plenty of storage there. Now, back here we have longitudinal beds. I'll just jump onto here. Now, you're probably wondering what all these bits and pieces are. They are just here, so I can show you them. But in terms of the longitudinal bed, these are a great length. One of them is 196 centimetres and 90 centimetres wide, and one's 195 centimetres long and 90 centimetres wide. So these are a great length, a good width, and they run all the way across the back of the motorhome. And what I do like, because something to consider with longitudinal beds, is once you've got a pillow, your head's going to be a lot higher, and if cabinets above are too low, you can hit your head on them. I like that you've got a lot of height here, so that is a tick for that. Under the cabinet there are downlighters. That has a USB Type-C charging point in it, and then the overhead lockers themselves. Let's open this one up. So we've got the black, the wood and the black handle. Nice strong hinges in there, and full height, and not a bad depth either. There's 3 of those across the back of the motorhome. There's a little sort of shelf here to put bits and pieces in. The good thing is, if you're charging your gadgets, you can put your bits and pieces in there. The only thing is, they are solid metal, so do be careful with those. Now, coming round on the walls, we have the white walls with the windows, the net's still on there, and that's on both sides. Sunroof, it does open, again, blind and fly screen, and then on each side there's a little overhead locker or cupboard here on each side. So if I just open that, so more storage there. There's also a sliding door as well, a privacy screen that's sliding across there, so that's going to separate these 2 parts. The reason I've got these bits out is this also has the option to make a double bed or a huge double bed. The wooden parts, there's a slat that's going to go across in the middle. This part will act as a step, so you put your foot in there to step up. And then there's the centre triangular cushion as well. So that, if I step back, will feed into here and come out here to make a massive bed. So you don't have to just have it as singles or twin beds. You can have it as a big double. There's further storage as well under here. And also under here. And as we saw before, the shoe storage system is also here in the 797. So if you like hanging shoes up, you're going to love that. Right, let's close those up. So that is our 797 bedroom space. Longitudinal beds, or twin beds, as some people call them. The overhead lockers, still a reasonable amount of height here. There's also a television point in this corner and plug socket, so you can put a TV bracket there. The shower there. What we'll do is we'll take a look in the washroom as we make our way back through. So in here, now again, what I do like is we've got the wood finish. It's not plain white walls. We've got the Thetford toilet on the pedestal. Let me just step down. So the good thing with the pedestal is it brings the toilet height up. Always check whether you can close that door. If not, you do have the screen there. Then we've got our storage again that we saw before in the other layouts. Here, our cabinet again. I would have liked just a bar there, but at the price point, will we always get that? You will get little cup holders to bob in there. The black tap, sunken sink, and further storage there. So I'd say the only compromise here is the toilet space and potentially closing this door for taller people. But you do have this screen that you can pull across when you're going to use the loo. So in effect, they've combated that potential problem. Right, let me close this. I'll dive out. So that's the washroom, nicely finished. I love that wood. And then into our kitchen and lounge space. So there's lots of room in here for the couples or up to 4 people. Right, let's dive out. So opening our habitation door, again, there it is on the off side. So that is the 797 layout. So altogether, we started with the 630, we did the 640, 650, and we're into the 797. There's other layouts available with further fixed beds as well. So if you're looking for an island bed, you've got that option. I'm going to put a link in the description so you can look at all the layouts. I'll also put a link to Preston Caravans and Motorhomes, who've invited us along today to film the Chausson range. I'll put a link to them and you can see all the models that they've got. They currently do have discounts on the prices. As I say, I mean, this one, the actual windscreen price is nearly 88,000, but it's discounted to just under 80,000. So current discounts on 2026 models. The benefit of these is they're all 3.5 tons. So if you only have your standard car licence, you can drive all of these. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look at Chausson, a French manufacturer. I've enjoyed having a look. So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.